Hey, what's going on guys? This is my brand new YouTube channel, 12 Gaming, and this is my very first news video, and I'm really excited to get started on all this YouTube and gaming adventureness. But anyway, in this video I'll be covering all basic features that will be in Halo 4's Forge that you need to know, and then how it relates to Halo Reach's Forge. Then, at the end of this video, there will be a link to another Halo 4 Forge video where I talk about ideas and opinions for Forge. Time to bring you the details you came here for, but in case some of you aren't familiar with Forge yet, don't worry, Forge is extremely simple and easy to manage in Halo 4, so you're in for a breeze. Getting started, there's a new feature in Forge that displays an object title when your cursor scrolls over an object. This is a very simple addition that might stop you from grabbing the wrong object in times of object phasing confusion, and this will also help you become familiar with the long list of object names so you aren't getting confused looking for the right objects all the time. When you are moving a selected object in Halo 4's Forge, you will now have 7 total command button options that will intentionally affect your object, and that is compared to Halo Reach's 4 options. The most basic of options is to use the A button to drop or pick up any object your cursor is over. What isn't basic at all involving letting go of an object is that your structural objects will stay exactly where they are when they are let go, completely defying gravity. Also, when dragging an object with your cursor, you can put your object through other objects as if they don't even exist, and then when you let go, they are fused together. This is an ability for all objects and is called phased, but there is also 2 other abilities you can choose instead. One is called fixed, and it will float right where you left it just as phased does, except it will not move through any other objects. Then the last option is normal, which just means that it's going to fall and drop when you let go of it. Now if you click B while holding an object, you will be sent to Object Tools. The first tool is Edit Coordinations, which allows you to adjust your object to a pinpoint in 6 different directions, allowing you to get an object right where you want it. Next up is Reset Orientation, which is also the right click on your D-pad, and this allows you to reset an object's coordinates to where it was before you started fiddling with its angle. The next option is to snap an object's rotation to a specific common degree, and if you are not holding an object and you click B, you will be given the option to automatically snap all objects you grab to a set angle, say 90 degrees, then every object you touch will adjust to its nearest 90-degree angle from that point forward. This is an especially useful ability that should frequently be used while designing symmetrical maps or any map that isn't abstract in design. Delete all objects does exactly what it says it's going to do. It deletes all the objects. Deleting by palette allows you to hunt down any specific object type and delete all of that type of an object on the map. Something to keep in mind is, Forge gives you restrictions for using objects with a currency, where each object costs a certain amount and you only have so much money you can use, and it also restricts you to a certain quantity that you can use each specific object individually. You can keep track of what items you have already used and how much of them by looking at how many objects of a certain type Forge will let you make. If you want to kick back on some stuff for your map and you know what objects you want to keep but you forgot what and exactly where some objects were, or if you have a lot of objects you want to delete quickly, you can look at which objects you've used that you don't want and just get rid of them. Then the last 2 options, which are 2 new cool additions that Halo Reach doesn't have. First one is Duplicate, which is also on the D-pad. Sorry, I mean duplicate, but every time you click on duplicate, it will duplicate the object that you were holding at the time over and over and over again as many times as you click on it. Duplicating is really important because a lot of time you don't keep on wanting to find your objects that you're using, and you just want to keep on making the same object over and over and over again so that you can make consecutive patterns to build a solid structure. The second addition is Magnets, which is not on the D-pad, and you can turn magnets on or off, and when it's on, every object has a little spot on it to where you can magnet one object from another object to that object's spot also. This allows you to just snap objects together instead of taking a really long time to slowly put them in the right spot so that you can get them aligned properly. Moving on, if you're on an object and you click X, you'll get something like this Trait Zone Properties menu right here, except for it's going to be a little bit different for different items, but they're all going to be basically the same thing. And I'm pretty sure this option displays every option that's for every object, so it has all the options, except for some objects won't have all these options. As you can see, the second option is Physics, which goes over those phased and fixed and normal abilities that we were talking about earlier. Spawn time makes it so that you can make an object spawn later in the game if you choose to. I can't be sure all the options that you can get in different items for advanced, so I'm just going to leave that there for now, but most of the time the advanced options aren't very significant at all. I'm not exactly sure what Traits Channel does either, so I'm not going to have anything to say about that. But the shape and radius are for objects like this only that get a designated area. in this specific situation, there's a trait zone that he has out, and that makes it so that if you go in that area, you will get a specific trait that I'm going to talk about in a second, and he's changing the radius so how big the area is that it will affect the players in. And he can adjust that however he wants to. And the shape just makes it a square or a circle as you're adjusting the radius. Moving on to the command button options, the Y button makes it so you can just delete an object, and this is really important that you can just click Y just to delete an object that quick and easy, because a lot of the time you're going to be fiddling with a lot of objects and you're just going to want to delete all the ones that you don't need. Moving on to the D-pad options, if you click up, that's going to take you into player mode, so you can go from forge monitor to player, which will allow you to run around just as if you're in a normal game. But that's not something you're supposed to do while moving an object. But if you do it while you're moving an object, you'll go into player mode and your object will just stay there. Right on the D-pad is going to reset orientation, which we've already talked about. Down on the D-pad is going to duplicate the object, which we've also already talked about. Then left on the object is another new feature to Forge that's really going to be important, because it's going to make it so you can just lock an object in place. So if you have it in a spot that you really want it in, or that object's important, then you can just lock it so you don't accidentally click A while you're moving around a bunch of pieces, and also so that you don't accidentally delete it while clicking Y. And if you have an object locked, then you better want it locked, because if you go to delete all, then you will not be able to delete that object or delete by palette. You will have to unlock it before you do anything to that object whatsoever. Now I've covered almost every option you'll have in Halo 4 Forge, but I won't be able to go over all the objects because I won't be able to just see the lists. But you can see a lot of them just in this footage, so make out of that what you will. But just in case you guys want to see, I'll give you a couple quick screenshots of the object type list and then the item type list. It takes you to this object type list first, and then to get to the item type list, you click on the bottom where it says structure. The last thing I wanted to go over was the character traits, which was that blue area, and what this means is if a Spartan runs into this area specifically, then his character traits will be changed into something else. So he might be able to jump higher, run faster, or that area just might have lower gravity in it, and all this other stuff that you can control and change while in Forge to make it so that's what's going to happen to every Spartan when they go into that area. And I'm going to go into this even more in my next video. This video is the video where I explain all the details to Halo 4 Forge, but my next one is going to be on all the thoughts and opinions that I have, and it's going to be a lot different than this one. So make sure you click on the annotation and check it out. In that video I'm going to be talking about the same features that I talk about in this video for the most part, but I'm going to be talking about some ideas that they give me for when Halo 4 releases. I'm also going to use this video to make a big announcement where I'm going to explain what I plan to do when Halo 4 comes out that could be a home run idea that even eventually improves the Forge community altogether, and how you can be involved in it all with little to no effort whatsoever. It's a very sick plan and I can make it happen as long as I get enough starting support. So don't miss out on the video, just click the annotation to get to the video, or if I just uploaded this video and I haven't uploaded that one yet, you can subscribe. And since I'm just starting out on YouTube, I want to tell you guys that I'm spending a lot of time learning how to use the software to make these videos, and even just making this video took a lot of hours and effort, and subscribing is going to get you a lot of original content, and I plan to do a lot with this channel. But when you're just getting started out like this, it's really difficult to go from 0 to 200 subscribers. So right now, every subscribe for me is probably equivalent to over 100 subscribes after Halo 4 releases. And that's going to be the end of this video. Don't forget to like and comment. This is 12 Gaming. Peace.